Greetings, y'all. Man, I have had one motherfucking fuck of a day. It wasn't even a joke. And even then, it didn't begin until after 5 o'clock. Uh, what was supposed to be me going to the Apple store, I'm embarrassed to even admit to the world that I have Apple products in my house. But I don't use it. It's my youngest daughter and my oldest daughter, and of course my wife. All three of them are friggin' Apple zombies. It don't get me started. And the thing is, the phone was sent out for repair. I thought it was what was supposed to be simple was me picking it up. And being in IT, I'm very judgmental of other people who are supposedly in IT. So the kid, the so-called genius at the place, was supposed to set up the phone. He's supposed to call our phone provider. And the dude asks me for my phone number. I said, "You mean the phone number for the account?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, okay." And I gave him the phone number, not knowing that what he really meant was the phone number of the iPhone. And that's why I asked him, "Do you mean the account, the phone number for my account?" So anyway, the moment that I couldn't verify stuff, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, to finish the iCloud crap setup, I had to go and call Sprint myself because at that point they were about to put me in the queue. I knew I had a show to do tonight. So what I sacrificed was dinner. I didn't get home till damn near nine o'clock, man. It was ridiculous. So here I am, y'all. I'd rather do this show than eat. I see there's 7 people. Let me get my ass out of the control room and actually view the chat. So that's why I'm starting 10 minutes late, and I still got to get out of here at 10:30 on 11:30 on the dime tonight. Let's see what's up with this chat today. Okay, good. I'm muted, so there shouldn't be any echo and shit. None of that nonsense. Brooklyn T is in the house. I'm going to go ahead and throw that link in the chat, y'all. Again, unfortunately, now it's down to like 40-something minutes. I'm not trying to count the minutes or nothing, but I'm just going to throw it in here in case y'all want to join, y'all. And, y'all know me. I start my shit. I start my shows on the dime. I do. Anyone who's ever listened to me in the past knows that. And because I really can't stand when people do live streams and they don't start until 10 minutes, 20 minutes after they were supposed to begin. I mean, think about it. I'm stealing off of Pro Black Chris, by the way. One of my, well, the only. Oh, Cara B. What's up, Cara B? Hooded One. What's up, Hooded One? Elm City, Penny Proud, my sister, and Brooklyn. I already said Brooklyn T. Elm City. Elm City. I got a whole bunch of videos to catch up on Elm City. Elm City said Bill Cosby in jail because of white women. Case solved. I wouldn't really give it all the credit to white women now. I mean, after all, the sister that actually pursued the case was in fact a sister. I mean, people are gonna want to be start nitpicking on that nonsense about her being biracial or maybe biracial or whatever. She was a black woman. And it's the same thing with the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement was actually started by a black woman. And the majority of the witnesses, the women that they actually talked to were women of color. So you can't really put it all on white women. And quite frankly, even if they were all white women, his ass needed to be in jail. I do want to say this though before I start and say any damn thing. Y'all know how I feel about the current um, justice system. You know how I feel about cops. So this is not me clapping my hands. Oh, yay, the justice system. No, 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 no. All right. First of all, if Bill Cosby was poor and he was doing exactly the same shit that he did, his ass would have been in prison decades ago. All right. Simple as that. Hey, what's up, Mabase? Damn. Yeah. Thank you. A cab. Let's see here. Them white women. Oh God. Okay, I'm sitting. No, the white women are not dangerous. Anyway, so let me finish saying what I was saying. So my point here is this: the justice system is not me saying that the justice system works. It's great. It's wonderful because they convicted Bill Cosby, and I'm not going to argue against the race factor in terms of Bill. I do feel I am going to sit and have patience and see what happens to oh hey lesbian Amazon sister. The I had to actually restart everything on my end because for some reason my Wi-Fi connection went down. So I had to reboot the router. I'm serious, man. This has been one big long bullshit tech thing happening in the last 5 hours of my day. Drink a little water. So anyway, um, so it's not about me thinking that the justice system works or nothing like that, right? But do I believe that Bill something should happen to Bill after getting away with what he's been getting away with for all these many decades? Hell yeah. And should I believe that he should be removed? I mean, he's old as fuck now. So it ain't too many women out there that he can try to assault or what have you, but uh but still he needs to be removed. He needed to be removed from the community decades ago, and because it didn't happen decades ago, it should happen right now. Now, the one thing I need for y'all to pay attention to is New Possibilities video, which is called Camille is a Handmaiden. I think that was the name of the video. Uh, the brother spoke very eloquently about Camille's position that what happened to Bill was a form of mob justice, and that she tried to then give reference to Emmett Till, which is bullshit to me. First of all, Emmett Till was dragged out of his home. He was beaten beyond recognition, and then he died, and I mean, to death. He was beaten to death. What happened to Bill? He had, as New Possibilities have pointed out. I really don't want to steal too much from the video. I really want you all to look at it, and I will put the link to that video in the low bar when we're done tonight, or first thing in the morning. Most likely, well, after my stupid ass meeting presentation. But what Bill had Bill is a millionaire. First of all, Bill is a rich man. He had the best defense that money could buy. He had spokespeople, and he lost. He did not lose the case because of the evil white woman. He did not lose the case because of lying black women who wanted his money. He offered money. They could have just shut up. They could have just ended the case. That didn't happen. I'm a little fuzzy on that information about one of them supposedly getting the money, but whatever. And who knows? I mean, she probably can't get anything if he's in jail, and that's the point. They wanted justice. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you cannot compare him. to fucking Emmett Till. What happened to Emmett Till was a racist attack. How do you answer for the women of color who also were part of that 60 something women? I see everybody wants to just pay attention to the majority of the women being white. Well, that's who his target was. That's the reason why the idea of black on black crime gets thrown out the window in my circles. Because there is no such thing as black on black crime. Criminals always attack those who they are in closest proximity to. Okay, same thing with white criminals. They attack and usually victimize other white criminals. So there is no white black on black crime. There is no white on white crime. It is just crime. But in this case, he's focused in typically on non-black women, mostly. That's who his victims were. So if they speak out, you're going to try to say it was white women trying to put him in jail. He needed to be in jail, man. Now, the right our title tonight's thing, Who Wants Puddin? Another one of my favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to the chat. If anybody wants to join, there's still time to join in the low bar. In the chat room. Damn. So many people in here now. I gotta put it in here again. No. About 40 minutes if you want to join. But the reason why I titled tonight's show Who Wants Puddin' is because one of my other favorite roast sector people, there's only two dudes I listen to. Pro Black Chris, who's also known as Lord Drazen, or Drazen Black, or is that Drazen? And Kevin Smith. I know. We'll talk about my contradiction in some other show. We don't have time tonight. As to as to why I like listening to them, dude. As to why I like listening to those two. But Kevin Smith said, does he believe that people that Bill Cosby himself will get raped? As we all know, in the prison system, as it goes, if you are in prison because of rape, 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen to you. It's not a laughing matter to me. As a side note, I don't joke about rape. I know that rape also exists. It doesn't really matter about the gender. So I don't joke about male on male rape either. It's not funny to me. But the point here is that everybody's kind of speculating, will that happen to him? I doubt it. Prisoners are not as stupid as everyone thinks they are. You got a rich man like him, he's far more valuable to them than, and he's old. Like, ain't nobody looking to do all that. I think the first thing he's going to do is walk up in there and say, who wants money on their books? Who wants Debbie cakes? Who wants cigarettes? Who wants whatever it takes for you all to make sure that nobody else shakes me down? In other words, if he gets the right protection, he'll be all right in prison. So he's got plenty of motherfucking money to throw around for protection. Now, there is a lot of speculation right now. There are two different camps in terms of the deliberation of his sentence. What will he really get? Will he go to prison? Because a lot of people are saying if he goes, he's going to die there. Other people are saying most likely he won't go to prison. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the time to read the article. I was reading the article, but I'm going to put it in the link in the low bar. Even though I don't really think it's that worth reading. It's just a bunch of. They are saying that there's a possibility that between his defense and the prosecution, because that's what happens, when before the judge deliberates, the defense and the prosecution usually sit down and say he's guilty. Now, what are we going to do about his sentence? What will it really, really be? We know what he could go in for. But what can we do here? Because they're gonna plead that, look, he's old as shit. There's no way, typical prisons are the way they are. I mean, he's gonna be nothing but medical. He's gonna probably have nothing but medical problems from day one. Who knows? Pneumonia, this, that, and the other. Some people are speculating he's going to wind up in a rich man's prison. I doubt that. He's got money, but he ain't got that kind of money. That's more like Hewlett Packard CEO money that he needs to have, which some people say he has that, but no, he's an aging entertainer. I don't think he has that much money like that. Not like that. But who knows, man? So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. I'm gonna go ahead rather than run my fucking mouth at this point because I'm short on time. I'd rather read the chat. I'm gonna scroll. Damn, I got a lot of scrolling up to do. Shit. Let me just start with So El City is man, El City is just wild tonight, man. She's saying she called New Possibilities a simp, which I 100% disagree with. Uh and talking about he's annoying. Yeah, okay, City, whatever. But Basai says, and New Possibilities is not a simp. I agree. I'm in that camp. Brooklyn T says, first of all, someone like Bill Cosby's wife to speak the way she did. Wait, what? First of all, someone like Bill Cosby's wife to speak the way she did because of our ancestors. Oh, right. I think I know what you're saying. Penny Proud says, okay, I will visit New Possibilities. Um, Elm City says he is so fixed. He is FO mixed. I guess he is for mixed women. I don't know what that means. Um, all right. And then Brooklyn T says that she is not Rosa or Harriet, as in she's not Rosa or right. Okay, she's not Rosa Parks or Harriet Tubman. Phoenix Chastain says, "Well, I think I fall into the group, but not the group of your point of view." Okay. Penny Proud says, I would have just took the money. Sorry." Well, I'm glad the women didn't just take the money. Hooded One says he lost the case because he admitted to drugging the women during the trial. Thank you, Hooded One. That's one of the main talking points I wanted to talk about. When we say those women did him in. The Me Too movement did him in. No, no, no. Bill Cosby did him in. The deposition, because now that the case is over with, people are interviewing the jurors. Okay. So far, there have been two different jurors, males. Both of them are saying the same thing. Bill Cosby's deposition was the damning evidence. Okay. Uh, so you could have had those women, as it's been a historical fact. You can have women with all kinds of evidence or just sitting up there making all kinds of claims, and 9 times out of 10, the dude would not get convicted for rape. I'm talking about pre 80s, pre 7, pre whatever, before the 80s. Now, people might listen, but that still may not mean anything. This dude's deposition, which if I believe it should be a PDF by now online. I'm going to post that in the low bar when I'm done, probably by noon tomorrow. If it's not online, at least I'm going to link some articles that has actual quotes from the deposition. His deposition was clear. Every encounter had to do with him giving these women drugs, of course, and the drug particularly was what they also was the date rape drug or Quaaludes. Now people are saying, well, that was the 70s, that was the 60s, that was the 80s, that was the whatever. Quaaludes, people did Quaaludes. Yeah, people did Quaaludes. Yes, they did, but he specifically gave them that drug. Why would he do that? First of all, Quaalude. When I was a kid, we all grew up thinking that Quaalude was the quote unquote sex drug, but it depends on whose perspective you're asking. It's the sex drug in terms of somebody giving it to somebody else so they would be completely knocked the fuck out and not in the right state of mind of consent. And let's break this down, man. The whole case was about consent. So we're dealing with the definition of consent. We're dealing with the fact that now that is the big piece to all of these sorts of cases. And then you're listening to Bill Cosby's deposition that is very fucking clear. I gave these women drugs. You're a power on Quaalude or any other kind of drug like that to give consent is thrown out the window. There are reams of actual studies proven that if you're in a certain state of anything, alcohol, drugs, your ability for consent is pretty much shot. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. Thank you, Hooded, when you made a very good point. Elm City says she wants to troll first. Penny Proud says Emmett Till was innocent. Lesbian Amazon Sister says at Penny Proud, it makes sense why women do. Oftentimes, the odds are stacked against them heavily. That you take what little you can get. Right. That's another thing. The trope, because these dudes, the thing about the manosphere right now and all their retarded ass videos that they're making about this case, these dudes love tropes. That's their only quote unquote proof of anything. And their main thing about tropes, their main favorite trope is the woman who will take money, the woman who will blackmail you, right? Well, what lesbian Amazon Sister just said makes a lot of sense. Why do some women or most women would rather just take the money and be quiet? Because of the reaction of society. Look at Bill's defense attorney, and look at his PR. They've been going on the circuit lately, in the last week, in the mass media. They were on Stephanopoulos's the ABC morning show, and they brought up every classic pro rape culture trope you could imagine, or pro rape culture rape culture thing you could imagine. These motherfuckers was telling you that the women just wanted the money. The women, why were they with a married man? But then you're like, well, the married man was with them too. What the fuck are you saying? I mean, they threw it all out there, and the reality is that that's why most women take the money. And then there's why did they wait this long? That's another reason why. When you still have our society is not fully enlightened on all this bullshit yet. So the point is that when you got people still relying on, oh, you lying, you didn't really get raped, this didn't happen to you, that didn't happen to you, or you just did it for the money, that's the reason why most women won't pursue real justice. Did I read everything in the chat? I guess I did. Maybe I hope I did. Because I'm going to scroll on down some more. Damn, I'm behind. Brooklyn T. Corner says, power blows many heads. Penny Proud says, lesbian Amazon, why didn't they all just speak up long ago? That's a good question, Penny. I don't really get on everybody for asking that question. I think that's a good question. But like it was just like I said, when you look at the overall attitude of everybody from your family members to your community to the press to what the defense attorney of the perpetrator will rely on, you feel like, what's the point? Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of his non-black victims, Bill's, especially if we're talking about the late 60s, early 70s, these were women who were probably liberal. They were probably scared that they would be sort of contributing to the the plantation princess / Emmett Till thing. So they kind of just didn't want to speak up. Also, because the fact that New Possibilities had mentioned that Camille is an enabler. But you would think that she'd be spitting mad, to be honest with you. But if Camille is an enabler, you got the doctor who Bill Cosby was getting the date rape drug and the quaaludes from. He's an enabler. I can guarantee you that their circles were all Bill Cosby enablers. So how do you go up against that? How do you feel the courage to speak up against that? Granted, man, it might be not be your choice. It may not. If I was a woman or a victim, it may not be my choice. But you can't assume that everyone is going to have the same choices that you would make because that's not how human beings work. Let's see. Hooded one. Bill Cosby will be put in segregation. Probably hooded one. You're right. Most likely because of his age, and most certainly because of his class. Phoenix says, "I don't think Bill will get raped or should." Yeah, I agree. I don't think he will, and I don't think he should. I don't think it's funny, and yeah, I'm not thinking like that. Let's see. Kara B. Sorry, I'm not paying any attention. I'm just now scrolling down, Kara. Kara says, so sad what happened to that boy over that woman. Oh, she's talking about Emmett Till, of course. Penny Proud says, I just don't understand. All right. Brooklyn T said, nobody cares about him being old. I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's see. Penny Proud says Cosby will likely. Oh, damn it. Hold on. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. So, Penny Proud says he might Cosby will get house arrest. Um, Lesbian Amazon sister said there's a lot of reasons at Penny Proud. There's a lot of reasons. It could not have been. It could not have wanted to have had their careers ruined. Could have had no idea how could have been afraid. Okay, could have been afraid of being. Okay, so that's all the stuff that I kind of said about why people don't speak up when it happens to them. Not everybody, and that's for those reasons. Brooklyn T. Corner says, "Penny, I'm so serious. Wrong is wrong. It's like women don't have no say. Like we supposed to lay down and not speak up." Interesting that you brought that up, Brooklyn, because that's exactly it. Um, if women speak out and do say this happened to me, and they don't wait a certain amount of time, still the reaction is it didn't happen to you. We don't believe you. Oh, this dude is rich. You just want his money, and all of those things is an excuse me is another way of just saying shut up. So I agree 100% with Brooklyn T. Phoenix says that there are over 30,000 rape cases still not tried. Exactly. And that's the other piece is the actual system and the system's reaction to these kinds of cases. Elm City says, Bill Cosby said either we fucking or I'm fucking. Soon after that, the date rape began. Yep. That's how it works. Let me see. I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit. Lesbian Amazon sister says, Penny Proud, I can't explain it. Trauma does a lot of messed up stuff to you. I remember back in 2010 trying to report was hell. Don't imagine it was any better decades before then, where when the police were taught. Oh, right, when the police. Oh, new possibilities. Damn, what's up, brother? Welcome. Brooklyn T said, "Ain't he blind?" Yep, I think he's blind, or he's blind in one eye, or some shit. I like how they made sure to emphasize that during the case. He was over there with his shades on. He had his cane, but if you all remember that footage that I had posted in my intro, my announcement video with him and Sophia Vergara. I always fuck up her name. I always call her Sophia Berga, but which is that's kitchen Spanish cursing word. But she but yeah, I mean he wasn't so blind and crippled back then, and that was only just uh 10 years and some change ago. Lesbian Amazon sister said to treat women who reported sexual abuse like criminals. A retired female cop actually told me that's what they said back in the day at her precinct. Damn. To treat the victim like a criminal. That's typical. All right. You know what? I need to save some time. New possibility. Great commentary. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And you may I don't know if you was here before, but I mentioned everyone about your video about Camille. Actually, all of your videos about this case are very good. So I'm gonna put your the links to all of your videos tomorrow around 11 or 12 when my damn meeting is over with. Let's see here. Baby Moscato says, "Hi, GA. I can't stay long, but I will definitely catch the replay. Thank you, man. Y'all are awesome." Elm City says, "My other channel, I stream every day for now, Garage." Okay, cool. So I'm gonna Elm, I'm just gonna put that in another tab so I can bookmark it. All right. I'll keep that. Let's see here. Who else is in the house? Damn, I am behind. Hooded one says, "Yo, Garage, I'll join your next hangout. Had to fill you out first. You were pretty cool. Thank you, Hooded one. And I think you're cool too. So yeah, I guess we it is what it is, man. You know how the internet is. You never know who you're dealing with until y'all actually start reacting. Phoenix says, "Anyone heard from Jenny Kiss or Bewildered Ape?" She's Phoenix. I follow her in Twitter and I follow her on Instagram. So I so far I haven't heard too much. I know she was here last week in the chat, so she just kind of showed her face. So we'll see. I'll give her a shout out, or I'll ask her. Let me see. I'll give her a what's up. Lesbian Amazon sister says probably did that to elicit sympathy from the jurors. Oh, lesbian Amazon sisters talking about the whole blind and crippled thing. I mean, look, man, I ain't gonna go there. I mean, see, I don't want to go to his level and doubt him because he doubts and he wanted to plant doubt in everybody else who was accusing him. Look, man, he is old. He's 80 something years old. All right. I'm pretty sure he's blind. You know what I'm saying? But let's face it, for effects purposes, man, you know good and well his defense team was like, get the cane, move real slow, do whatever you have to do. Shit. And that defense attorney was no joke, though, man. I actually thought he was going to win the case, to be honest with you. He was so slick, with the whole getting the no trial and yeah, man, I thought he was serious business, but it was his own client that fucked his case up. I mean, that's one of them once in a lifetime situations, or is it? Maybe it's more common. You could be the best attorney in the world, and if your own client client's deposition basically puts his ass in jail, what the fuck can you do? Not that much. Let's see here. So here's the thing, y'all. I think I'm caught up in the chat. Lesbian Amazon sister said that's disgusting. I do wonder if any of the women who met him privately were DTF. I don't know what that means at first, then changed their minds and couldn't leave. Oh, right. That's what you know what I believe that that's typically the scenario. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. When you give somebody a drug and you know you're getting them into a sexual situation, right? You know that you're giving them the drug because you want this to be I hate to put it like this, but you want this to be a sure thing. You don't want nobody changing their mind at the last minute. That's the thing. And another thing that people go on is this idea that, well, if they were in a compromising position to begin with, what happened to them, they should have expected it. In other words, what they're saying is the justification of sexual assault is that they were on a date, they were dating, they were in a romantic situation with a married man. Well, I don't really, we can skip the married man part. Let's just make this easy and say, let's just say Bill Cosby was actually single. The point here is that just because you're in a situation, maybe y'all are kissing, maybe you're all over each other, it seems like it's going to go to where it's supposed to go, or people want to go. But man, again, in the middle of that, people change their minds for whatever reason. They will change their minds. Maybe they're like, hey, I would rather, if we're gonna, I don't know, have sex, I would rather do this on the next time. I'd rather do this next week, tomorrow night, whatever. I don't think I really want this to happen tonight. So, in other words, I'm not giving you consent. Ain't gonna happen. But see, the thing is, giving these women that drug throws it in his favor. You know what I'm saying? So there won't be too much fight back if they decide to change their minds. The point here is that I don't give a shit how hot and heavy things get between people. If the consent is not clear, if they change their minds, that means no consent, then you don't do nothing. And if you continue on with it, it's sexual assault. It really is just that simple. Mike Budge. Oh, what's up, Mike? Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Mike says these celebrities think they are privileged, but not any longer. I still want to put that to the test, Mike, because although Bill is definitely found guilty. I want to see what happens to Weinstein. Um, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name already because being a film buff as I am, art house film and stuff like that. Although I have to say the Weinstein brothers completely destroyed the art house gender, sorry, genre uh, in the last 20 something years. But the thing about that dude is that we want to see what happens to him, man. I mean, he's got so many women coming out and talking about his ass, and his ass ain't in jail. I mean, or at least there's not even any talk about him even going to court right now. And so what happened is Allred, or a lawyer like Allred, needs to get on the fucking case and see if they can actually get some. So, I mean, I know it doesn't work that way. Typically, a client has to go to the lawyer and say, this happened to me, and I actually want to pursue this. So I didn't have time, unfortunately, because I planned on actually doing a little research before doing tonight's show about where things were going with Harvey Weinstein, but I didn't have enough chance to say that because I wanted to make that into a talking point. Um, it happened to Bill. Will it happen to his white male counterparts who are just as powerful, if not possibly more powerful? Because again, I'm not jumping up and down and saying today, oh yeah, finally the justice system worked. No. Of course, I think it's still a little bit easier to convict a very rich black person. But let's see what happens to the Weinsteins. I have my gut feeling about this, but we see I shouldn't say the Weinsteins. His brothers, hopefully, is not a big of rapist as he is not a rapist at all, hopefully. But we'll see. My bun says ain't heard nothing about him. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a lot of twittering, there was a lot of articles and shit, but I haven't heard anything about any kind of legal anything happening. I haven't heard about any kind of cases. Phoenix says it better happen, GA. And what you're saying, I agree. Thank you. Yeah, Mike, we'll see. Like I said, what I am gonna do is the research that I wanted to do before starting this show tonight. And I'll post some articles in the low bar of this show. So y'all, this was good. I mean, I'm not leaving yet. Don't worry. I've got 10 more minutes, but as you all know, I gotta go. But at 11:30. But this is, I mean, I ran my mouth and I read the chat. Um, I'm probably gonna obviously I don't have enough time to touch on a couple of other things. I wanted to talk about Kanye with his dumb ass. I mean, his mother, I mean, you're talking about a woman who is a professor. She was an intellectual. She was a former Black Panther. She must be spinning in her fucking grave, although I don't believe in ghosts and goblins and gods, but still, that woman must be spinning in her fucking grave. To have a son telling everybody that slavery was a choice, for him to be praising Donald Trump, a man who uh, took out an ad in the New York Times claiming that the Central Park Five were guilty when in fact they were not. And as it turned out, they were not. As the true assaulter and rapist of the Central Park jogger was discovered, these young men who are now men, grown men, middle aged men, as a matter of fact, have spent all of their lives in prison. That's Trump. Trump, who promised the working class of the Rust Belt and other parts of the United States, or rather what we like to call Trumplandia, I call Trumplandia, told these people that he was going to get them jobs. And so far, everything that this man has done since being in the White House is to serve his class. Kanye is saying that that's his brother and that they're both dragon blood or dragon spirit. I'm sorry. I could have kicked him in his little baby nuts for that one. Fuck Kanye West, for real. I haven't had a chance to listen to New Possibilities video on that, but I want to. I'm going to. About Kanye. I mean, this dude is out of control. And I know, I mean, matter of fact, I had a debate with my oldest daughter about Kanye. Not that she agrees with anything he's saying, but she was like, because there's such a deep, I wish I really could have her talk about this, but she was like saying like there's such a deep stigma against mental illness in the Black community that basically, and I agree with her, I think that Kanye is mentally ill, but he's a rich mentally ill person. Like he should just get help already. But she's saying that because we got that stigma, no one's paying attention to like trying to approach him in a different manner, like trying to get him to calm down, to understand. And my feeling is like, man, that man is almost going to be 40 soon. Like he's not that helpless. You know what I'm saying? And I get that he's probably way off because of the death of his mother. But in a lot of ways, it's like he's rebelling against everything that his mother actually stood for. I'm going to repeat, former Black Panther, professor, I mean, everything I've heard him say make statements against people who read. I've heard him make statements against intellectuals. I've heard him make statements, about race that or class that anyone in the Black Panther Party would have said this dude is a counter-revolutionary. Like he's definitely, if he's in mourning of his mother, it's the strangest mourning I've ever seen. Because his form of mourning her is basically him saying "fuck her." I mean, that's what it sounds like. My Mike Bunch said brain damaged. Exactly. He's spoiled and rich. He's mentally ill, but he's still spoiled and rich. I got new people in the chat. There's Leah. Hold on. Damn it. Leah CS says Kanye is a lost cause. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. So that was the debate between me and my oldest daughter and myself. Was I feel like he's a lost cause. She's saying people need to have a better understanding of him to help him. But I don't. He doesn't want anyone's help. If the rest of the black community ain't rich, he ain't gonna pay attention to what none of us have to say about him. Strange fruit. What's up, strange fruit? Strange fruit says Kardashians are witches. Kardashians are just talentless, fucking money grubbing weirdos, man. They ain't. That's all that's all there is about them. They ain't shit. All right, I got 4 more minutes left. Let me see. Um, Lesbian Amazon sister said, I still can't believe broke people and middle class people going broke voted for a corporate moron like the annoying orange. It is what it is. I mean, we all know what the tricks that he used. We all know what he did. He used populism. And that's the thing, man. It's like the Democrats. Well, that's the thing, man. The Democrats have stopped pretending. I mean, they haven't used. I mean, what they do is it's an interesting strategy. Whenever they're running for the White House, right? When it comes to presidential elections, I've noticed this about Democrats. They will take the so-called rebel, the so-called radical of the Democrats. So, in the 80s it was Jesse Jackson. As of late, Bernie Sanders, right? They take them and they get them as far as the primaries, right? But then we all know that the party bosses will put everything behind the centrists. So what happens is, what they do is they don't, their populist is often the so-called liberal wing of the Democratic Party. So those kind of um it's usually those kind of candidates, but they're set up to fail, is my point. Okay, because the party bosses are always going to be backing up the centrists, and the centrists are always there to represent Wall Street. Now, Trump used basic populism because he knew that the working class in this country has taken a major blow. Not this year, not last year, not even in the last 10 years, man, but for the last 30. And he knew this. There she is. What's up, Jenny? Jenny said butterscotch pudding. Oh man, I haven't had that one in years. I haven't. Well, pudding is really not one of my favorite things. But anyway, sorry. I'm just gonna end this one part about populism. So yeah, that's how he won. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, people just got fooled, man. That's all. Hopefully the working people will not get fooled again. We keep saying that, but it just needs to happen. But I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna be so damn mad at Trump that all they're gonna do is fall right back in line behind the Democrats and get the same steady diet of nothing that they got from that they got before. and from Trump and before. So, see, Mike Bunch says 3,000 lies. What the fuck? Got to get progressive. Okay, Strange Fruit says Trump. Hold on here. All right. My cursor's doing some weird shit here. Hold on. All right. So, good evening. Jenny says, good evening. Lovely to see you all. Strange Fruit says, past 30 years. Yep. Middle class has been treading water. Yeah. And you know, looking at how much my wife and I paid taxes this year, looking at the fact that we had to wheel, deal, beg, and plead the choice school that my daughter wanted to go to that we still aren't able to get her into. The middle class is fucked. I mean, it's obvious. Like there is no, like you're too poor. You're too poor to actually afford anything really, and but you're considered, having enough money by certain institutions. Yeah, the middle class is screwed. I don't even like to use that term that much, but basically you're working class but with middle income. But yeah, I mean, treading water, I think we're past that now. Like, so all right, y'all, man, it's 11:30. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Um, but the comments are amazing. I want to read one more. I skipped Strange Fruit. Strange Fruit said that Trump pretended to be a populist for an ignored white middle class population. He played on fears of diminishing returns on white privilege. Well, yeah, definitely that's another factor. It's not just one or the other. There are many factors, and that was one of them. So yeah. All right, man. I want to thank you all. I want to thank Mike Bunch, Baby Moscato. I want to thank Brooklyn Tea Corners, Strange Fruit, uh New Possibilities for showing up, like just popping in to say what's up. I want to thank, man, who else, man? It's like so many people came tonight. Lesbian Amazon Sister, Phoenix Chastain, of course, Phoenix, Elm City, definitely Penny Proud. I want to thank all of y'all. Thank you for making tonight a success and me not just running my mouth into an empty chasm. And next week I'm probably going to do an open mic. I may or may not. I might have something set up. So you'll all see that video either on Monday or Tuesday. I looks like I'm gonna have some time to make a video this weekend. Not, we'll see what happens because half the house is going to be not here this weekend. My wife is still out of the country. So, and then my youngest is going to be in New Jersey for a party and a sleepover. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope this was good for you as it was for me. And I will see you all later. Peace. This is the Garage Autonomist.